Here are the best 7.5 ways to build a passive income. For each of these ideas, we'll address 3 questions. How much effort is required to start it? How long does it take to generate your first $500? And what's the effort required to maintain it? I'll rate each of these from 1 to 3 magic lamps, 1 being easy and 3 difficult. Now let's contradict myself already. There's no such thing as passive income. No one will throw money at your feet without you lifting a finger. You'll have to do some work to get these up and running, well, except for the 4th idea because that one's truly passive. But let's be honest, no matter how badly we all want to be rich, building passive income is not really about the money, right? It's more about freedom. It's about investing in your future so you don't have to work a typical 9-to-5 trapped in a cubicle in a soulless company. Sufficient passive income gives you the freedom to pursue your passions, whether that's giving to charity, traveling the world, or simply chilling at home. All that matters is that you get to make that choice and not some rinky-dink boss. The internet is filled with get-rich-quick scammers preying on people with false hopes and dreams. But in reality, it's very rare to become a millionaire overnight. It takes work and also knowing this dirty little secret about making money. At the end of the day, after all the hustle and hours you put in, making money is about bringing value to others. The more value you give, the more money you can make. So let's start with this value-packed video, and thank you to Yubico for sponsoring this video. There's so much money floating around on the internet that it would be a shame if you didn't get your share. Check out this graph. There are only a handful of these rare specimen billionaires with the B in the 80s and 90s. And suddenly, after the internet became a real thing, they reproduced like rabbits and the numbers skyrocketed to 134 billionaires around the world. You can make passive income with an online business with 2 different types of products. First, a digital product. Anything you can think of that could be mostly created on a computer, like a course on how to eat a cheeseburger, an Excel template, an app, or a website. What's amazing is that you just need to create it once and you can sell it theoretically an infinite number of times. And it's pretty easy to get started depending on the product. Like an Excel template is about 1 magic lamp. After you build it, you just need to sell it on a website, and you don't even need to know anything about building sites. There are plenty of tools out there like Shopify and Squarespace that lets you simply drag and drop and boom. It's so easy that a caveman can do it.
Oh no, not cool.
Oh, my bad, dude. I didn't know you were there. I'm sorry. The second type of product, physical products, are a completely different beast. These things exist in the real world, like this water bottle or this mouse. It's harder to create these things because you'll need the infrastructure, the materials, the supplies, and labor. About 3 magic lamps. Physical products also don't scale as easily. Think about it. Every time someone buys a product, you need to create a new copy, you need to package it, and ship it. Making sure your online business stands out is about 2.5 magic lamps. There's a ton of competition, but the trick is to think outside of this. And here's my strategy. First, find a really specific niche like selling bidets. Then look at successful unrelated niches like selling ottomans and check out how you can incorporate their style, landing page, whatever it is, into your own site. And you can apply this strategy to pretty much any business. To make your first $500, that's about 2 magic lamps. Truthfully, it could be as quick and easy as a few weeks to a couple of years. It really depends on how well you stand out and whether you're selling a high ticket or low ticket item, which brings into quantity versus quality of clients. Studies show that the average startup takes 2 to 3 years to see any profits at all. But once you get a good flow going, it's only about 1.5 magic lamps to maintain, if you have a good team and automation in place. It's relatively passive. You just need to keep up with trends and being on the lookout for any new competitors. This next passive income stream is what empowered me to escape my miserable life working in finance and gave me countless new opportunities, and it's YouTube. Hold up, before you write this off, know this, it's still very possible to create a successful YouTube channel now. It's not too late, but you do have to do something very specific that I'll explain. In terms of difficulty of getting started, 1 magic lamp. Anyone can make an account in a minute and start uploading whatever content they want. But here's where it gets tricky. Standing out on YouTube. Because it's so easy to start, about 720,000 hours of videos were uploaded every day to YouTube. Competition is fierce. Only about 0.25% of creators or less than 80,000 channels actually earn any money doing this. But that doesn't mean that you can't be in that 0.25%. Making good content is hard. This video that you're watching right now took about 2 weeks to write, film, and edit. And even then, it's still not gonna be perfect, so turn that like button into a beautiful black to show some love. Look, to stand out, you need to make niche quality content. You don't need fancy cameras, lights, or anything to get started. Check this out, my first video on YouTube.
And you want to unlock it.
Steaming pile of garbage. But look at what you're watching now. It's now just a regular pile of garbage. To make your first $500 on YouTube, you need to be a YouTube partner, which requires a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, which generally takes about 15 months and 160 videos. I was lucky and fortunate enough to have reached this within a few weeks and to 100,000 subscribers in less than a year. YouTube pays this thing called AdSense, and it's calculated by cost per mil, CPM, the amount of money advertisers pay per 1,000 views. Your CPM rate varies depending on your niche, where your audience is watching from, etc. And this can range from a few cents to dozens of dollars. The powerful thing about YouTube is that the more videos you publish, the views compound on each other. And over time, those views add up to your monthly totals, making it easier and easier to make more money in the long term. But here's the secret. You don't need to be a YouTube partner to make money on YouTube. And I'll show you how in the next passive income stream. To maintain this whole YouTube thing, I'd say it's fairly difficult at 2.5 magic lamps. You need to keep your content fresh, original, and consistently upload. It became my full-time job in 2020, and honestly, I work harder now than I've ever did before because it's my business, it's my livelihood, and it's my little baby. And I need to make sure that it's financially and digitally secure. Digital security is important to run any successful online business. All it takes is clicking one wrong link, one wrong download, one slip up, and you can lose access to your accounts. So that's why I want to thank today's sponsor, Yubico. If you didn't know, Google is auto-enrolling 150 million Google users in a two-step verification process to protect your internet accounts. And Yubico's YubiKeys, these little guys, will make the security transition much easier. YubiKeys are a physical key to secure your online world, acting as an extra layer of protection to your accounts in addition to username and password. It only took me a few seconds to set everything up, and here's why it's so cool. Even if someone gets my account username and password, they still can't log in because they need to physically have this little guy. Think of it like the key that you use to lock your house or car doors. These keys work with Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, password managers, cryptocurrency exchanges, and hundreds more accounts. And you can use the same key to secure multiple accounts. The security key CNFC is $29, and if you use my discount code Vincent5, you can save $5. If you're a creator or in any type of online business, check out Yubico's YubiKeys to protect your digital world. Link in the description down below, and use the discount code Vincent5 to save $5 on any security key series or YubiKey 5 series key. Everything you know about this passive income stream is completely wrong. Conventional wisdom makes you think that you need to be a super influencer with a huge following to make any money off of affiliate marketing. But that's a lie. Affiliate marketing is simply talking about someone else's product or services and you getting a commission each time someone uses your link. Check this out. A lot of brands specifically work with micro influencers, people with just a couple hundred to a couple of thousands of followers. So if you have a YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, even with a small following, you can still make some money. Some brands specifically love to reach out to smaller influencers instead of the Kardashian type because it's cheaper, but it's also because of this. The engagement rate. The metric that shows how engaged your audience is with your content. The rate peaks at around 1,000 followers, about 8%, and then drops to 1.6% for huge celebrities. It's easy to get started with affiliate marketing, about one magic lamp. There are sites like Tiny Sponsor that will connect you with a bunch of brands, pick the ones that you like and integrate them into your own post. To make your first $500 really depends on your niche and follower count, but you could be getting tens to hundreds of dollars per post, a free product, and some kickback affiliate marketing commission depending on the brand. If most of your social media followers are just your friends and family, it'll be pretty easy to maintain, but if you want to constantly grow and make more money, then you need to work harder to pump out fresh content. Okay, you quite literally cannot get more passive than this income idea. All you need to do is click a few buttons and you're done. About one magic lamp. It's simple. You use your money to purchase a piece of ownership of a company. And if the company does well, then congratulations, you made some money. Or this happens. But don't worry, there's actually a secret trick. Investing in stocks can be inherently risky, but there are ways to mitigate that risk. For one, look into this thing called an index fund. It's a way to automatically invest into a bunch of different stocks. Instead of investing in a single stock like Apple that can go up or down, you can invest in an index fund that follows the movement of hundreds of different stocks. It's much less risky because let's say if you only invested in Apple stock and Apple drops, then your entire portfolio falls. But if you invest in an index fund, you're pretty diversified, and it doesn't really matter if a couple of stocks go down, because the hundreds of other stocks could go up in your index, thereby mitigating the downside. It's like buying a mixed cheese platter for a party instead of you only bringing one type of cheese. You can buy the prepared platter that already has a bunch of cheese, a little bit of everything. The most famous index is the S&P 500, which tracks the top 500 companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. The great thing about investing as a passive income stream is that you don't have to stand out to do well. The S&P 500's average annualized return since 1957 has been 10.67%, compared to just a traditional savings account where the national average interest rate is 0.06%. That is hold on, 17,000% higher, which means more money for you in the long term. It's super easy to get started. Just pull out your favorite trading app and look for an index fund like FXAIX or VFIAX. These are Fidelity and Vanguard funds that track the S&P 500, but please do your own research before you buy or sell anything. I'm just a dude online who wears glasses to look smart. In fact, I don't even wear glasses. These are completely fake. And speaking of stocks, there's actually an easy way you can get some for free. Just for you, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $7,000 with Moomoo if you deposit $1, and 3 free stocks valued up to $6,300 with Webull if you deposit $1. Link is in the description down below. Making your first $500 really depends on your own situation, how much money you're investing, and the market volatility. But based on the average annualized return, if you put $5,000 today in the S&P 500, you'd expect to have an additional $500 in a year's time, right? Well, technically not, because in the short term, like in a year, no one knows if the market will go up or down. No one can tell the future, not even Mr. Magic Lamp over there. So your stocks will go up or down tomorrow. But if you invest for the long term, like me, on average, the S&P 500 goes up 10% a year. Check this out. This is why investing is so powerful and passive. Let's say the absolute max that you can put aside every month towards the S&P 500 is just $200. With an average return of 10%, it would only take you 10 years to grow your investment account to $41,000. It's also really low maintenance if you're investing in index fund. One magic lamp. You can just set it up and forget it. There's also this other thing called dividend stocks that are even way more passive. With a dividend stock, the company that you own actually pays you money for just holding the stock as an investment. Now that's passive AF. By the way, if you're interested in investing, I actually send out free daily market briefs every morning straight to your inbox that you can read in under 1 minute to understand what's going on with the market. 100% free, link in the description down below. Okay, the next passive income stream is named after a very specific group of people. The royalties. Despite the name, royalties isn't like your Emperor's New Groove. It's just a fancy word that describes someone paying you each time they use your thing. It's pretty easy to get started to make a thing. 1.5 magic lamps. All you need is an internet connection, a computer, some time, and some creativity. You've probably heard of royalties before as it relates to the music industry, but thanks to the internet, you can earn royalties in many different ways with stuff like ebooks, stock photography, and more. I got started in royalty income through my ebook business. However, it is about 2.5 magic lamps to stand out with your product. Your content needs to provide enough value that it differentiates itself, and here's the trick that helped me. I started with no audience or anyone to sell to, and plus I wanted to remain anonymous, so I didn't even tell my friends or family about it. Here's a secret that you can use with anything. I discovered that the biggest ebook niche at the time was health and wellness, and this thing called intermittent fasting was a really hot topic, which I do dabble in 16/8 for my IF aficionados. And because I saw this rising trend, I wrote an ebook about it. I analyzed my competitors and I read their reviews. And in the review section, I found out what people wanted more of or less of. I compiled and synthesized a bunch of research to create the final product. Now, here's how I stood out. Check this out. I joined a bunch of intermittent fasting Facebook groups, and I told them that I'm releasing a new ebook about this topic, and I would love to give them early free access. I collected hundreds of emails, and when I launched, they were the first ones to download. And it was that initial surge of hundreds of downloads that set my ebook to the #1 best-selling ebook in its category, which caused a bunch of other people to see it and buy it. So technically, you're in the presence of a best-selling author, ladies and gentlemen. No big deal. To make $500 selling your royalty products really depends on your own marketing skills. I personally made $500 in the first few days, but there are a ton of royalty-based products out there that don't even make $2 because no one knows about them. The key is to focus on marketing and showing why your product is gold compared to others. And here's my favorite part, the maintenance. It's about one magic lamp. The beauty of royalties is once you get your product up and running, ebook or whatever, you can leave it and forget it because your work is done. Other than maintaining your marketing efforts, you can just wait for the royalties to roll in. Next is real estate, and hold on, I know what you're thinking. Vincent, I don't have $500,000 to throw down on a property, but check this out. There's a trick where you can just start off with just a couple $100s through real estate crowdfunding, and you can do all this through a website that I'll share in a bit. Crowdfunding is pulling together money from a bunch of investors, and collectively, you have enough capital to buy real estate without dealing with the hassle of mortgages, tenants, inspection, etc. Plus, remember earlier when we talked about diversification and investments? Well, real estate is a great avenue to diversify away from just stocks. Getting started is about 2 magic lamps. There are a bunch of sites that you can use like CrowdStreet, Fundrise. These platforms connect investment opportunities with investors, you.
You talking to me?
You can get started with as little as a couple of $100s, but some of them do require more funding. Most of your efforts spent will be on vetting the actual investment opportunities. So pay close attention to how the websites vet the deal as well as the sponsors behind the projects. Typically, the top platforms do a decent amount of research to make sure everything is rigorously evaluated, but still, do your own research. To make your first $500, it would all depend. The average return for real estate crowdfunding is around 11 to 15% per year. Let's just say 13%. That means that you would need to put down around $3,800 to make close to $500 in the course of a year. But just like with stocks, that return is never guaranteed and is dependent on so many factors. Maintenance-wise, it's about 1 magic lamp because there's not much work left since you're crowdfunding. You'll occasionally need to check your project performance, but there's no traditional stuff that you need to worry about when it comes to traditional real estate like building, upkeep, maintenance, etc. This one involves stake. Wrong stake. Many people buy and sell cryptocurrency for profit, but there's actually a passive way to earn income without needing to buy, sell, and track charts. But before I reveal what it is, I'm not trying to convince you to buy crypto. It's volatile and speculative, so make sure you get your finances in order first, like your 401k, your Roth IRA, HSA, emergency fund, etc. And if none of those words make any sense, then maybe crypto isn't for you. Okay, so this method is called cryptocurrency staking. Staking is about using your coins to support the functions of a blockchain network, and in return, you can get paid interest, anywhere from 5%, 20%, 100%, or even more, depending on the coin. And this interest is way more than the 0.06% rate that a traditional savings account gives you. Don't worry, you don't need to understand anything technical to do this at all. All you need to know is that your coins will be locked up for a defined time period, but you will still retain full ownership of it. It's about 1.5 magic lamps to get started because depending on where you live, there could be regulations and you may need to look at some workarounds. But essentially, most crypto exchanges have an option to stake specific types of coins. I personally use Coinbase for my cryptocurrency, super easy to use, and if you sign up with my link down below, you would get $5 in Bitcoin for free. If your crypto platform supports it, you simply click a few buttons and you can start staking. But there are some risk involved. The biggest one being the price movement in the crypto that you are staking. While a 20% interest rate might sound super attractive, if the crypto drops 50% in price, then you're gonna have a bad time. Secondly, be on the lookout for platforms or coins that offer a ridiculous interest rate because typically it's the riskier projects that try to lure people in with really attractive returns. Making $500 with this really depends on the coin that you stake and the interest rates advertised. To keep things simpler, let's say you bought 5,000 ABC coins for $5,000, so $1 per coin. If it has an 8% return, it would take a little less than a year to make $500, assuming nothing changes. It's about 1 magic lamp to maintain. You don't really need to do anything else other than wait and hope the coin doesn't drop in value. This is a bonus, the 0.5 and 7.5. It's similar to crypto staking, but a bit different. For this, you can think of yourself as a bank. Let's say you have a bunch of crypto that's just sitting around. Instead of waiting for it to appreciate in value, you can make passive income by lending out your coins to other people, i.e. crypto lending. And in return, they'll pay you interest, ranging anywhere from 3%, 17%, or even more. Here's how it works. There are 3 parties involved. You, the lender, i.e. the bank, a borrower, and a crypto platform as a third party. The borrower goes on a platform and is like, hey, I want a loan. The crypto platform says, sure, give me some collateral to secure the loan. Then you, the lender, would be like, cool, here's a loan, and now pay me some interest. Then the borrower says, I got you, thanks man. And the crypto platform will hold on to the collateral until the loan is fully paid off. Similar to staking, it's about 1.5 magic lamps to get started. You'll need to do your own research because in the crypto world, there are a ton of scams. So you need to find a good and trustworthy platform to lend out your crypto to. And let's not forget about the risk. One big difference between a traditional bank loan and a crypto loan is that the borrower doesn't have to go through any credit check before borrowing any crypto, so they could be super unreliable. Plus, there's no guarantee that they'll actually pay off the entire loan, which is why platforms typically require a large chunk of collateral. But cryptocurrencies are very volatile, which means that the collateralized amount being held could substantially drop in value. Making your first $500 again depends on how risky you want to be and the interest rates that you accept. With higher returns come higher risk, and exchanges can and have failed in the past. Coins have pumped and dumped in the past, so please do your own research. It's about one magic lamp to maintain. You don't need to do anything else after you lend your crypto out except wait for the interest to start rolling in. Now, if you really want to change your financial life, check out this video on the best side hustles to start right now. And trust me, you've never heard of them before. And again, thank you to Yubico for sponsoring this video.